You're gonna end up regretting it. All the mistakes that people make, I think this is honest. And so I even ordered a little blue floral pillow the other day and I brought it into my house and I'm like, it does not work for my style. Oh my gosh. I bought every single one of these from the listing on Amazon. I just got this beautiful, beautiful vase in from Amazon, guys. I know, I'm kind of amazed too. Spring is definitely in the air and it is such an exciting time to be decorating our homes. And I've been literally a flurry around my own house, prepping things, ordering a few things, pulling things right out of storage. And I'm so excited to decorate for spring. And this year, while I was decorating for spring, I've been thinking a lot about some of the mistakes that I've made, some I've almost made this year. And I'm like, no, don't do that, you'll regret it. I thought it'd be really helpful to share some of the decor mistakes that a lot of people make with their spring decor. They're easy fixes. These are small things that will have a huge impact on your home and things that will really help you to really capture the essence of spring and really help your home to feel light and bright and airy and elegant, luxurious. Even if you're working on a budget, these ideas are going to get you so pumped about decorating. So let's just jump straight into this video because I'm dying to share these with you. Girls, set down our coffee cup because we're getting down to business. Okay, number one mistake that people make, and I considered it even myself. I was looking around my house and I've been loving my winter style. Love it. I have had so much fun decorating post-holidays for just the winter season. I have loved it. And I seriously was like, I don't know if I'm gonna change anything. I was thinking about it. I'm like, I just really like the way it feels right now. And I wasn't going to change anything. And I thought, you're gonna end up regretting it. You gotta bring in some of this light, this feeling of spring. And so I immediately just started to bring in small things and it was like, oh, I'm so glad I'm doing this. It is such a mistake to not decorate at all for the season, and a lot of people just don't decorate for seasons. Now, I will say that as a designer, when I deliver a project to a client, I'm generally avoiding seasons. I'm trying to give them an evergreen design. That way they can make small changes for the seasons, but the design really kind of stands on its own. And if you're still building a room and you haven't gotten everything into it and you're still building everything out, going for the evergreen pieces is definitely the way to go. I still think even just having a little vase with some tulips in it like this, like even just a little something, I think you should treat yourself. These are faux tulips off of Amazon. They're super affordable. They last forever. Amazing, amazing little tulips. They look so real. Okay, so I think even if you are still working on a room, just adding some small things into that space will really just help you to enjoy it as you're doing all the big stuff. But not decorating at all, you're gonna be missing out on the feeling and the essence that you can create with some small tweaks that you can make to your design. You don't have to throw everything out. You don't need to get rid of everything you own and start over with a new design. It is tempting because during the winter, I always like, oh, I want a velvet sofa. And then in summer, it's like, oh, it's like spring, summer hits and I'm like, oh, I want a linen, this, you know. You don't have to change out all your furnishings and all that. Just some small tweaks will really help you capture the feeling of the season. We're gonna get into what you can do that's really simple, but not doing it all, big mistake. Another mistake I see people making all the time, and it's such an easy one to avoid, is only decorating for Easter. A lot of times people will go, I think Home Goods and maybe like Target and places like that do make it feel like you're supposed to be decorating for Easter. And so everyone changes out the soap pumps and the hand towels and the pillows and all the decor throughout the house, prepping it for Easter. You don't have to do that. I personally think that if you're trying to create a really luxurious look, having Easter everywhere, cutesy little sayings and things like that, it's not gonna really give you a very luxurious and elevated feel to your home. Now, don't get me wrong. I've just ordered some of the cutest stuff off of Amazon. Oh my gosh, look at these little ceramic bunnies I just got. I got these and I got these, and these are gonna be going onto my table. So I love setting a table setting and entertaining for the holidays. So for me, that's where Easter goes. I think you shouldn't decorate with well, if you want to, it's okay, because it's what you enjoy and it's your home, all right? But if you're trying to create a really luxurious feel, I wouldn't put Easter everywhere, right? Like all the cutesy pillows and things, they can feel a little youthful. And if you're trying to create something that feels really elevated and luxurious, you know, these are cute. And that's why I'm gonna put them on the table when we're having our family lunch and we're planning a big party and a big grill out and all this stuff for Easter. That's where these are going. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying no to Easter, but what I am saying is that if you only put the Easter in, you're kind of missing out on all the other stuff that really helps your home to feel like it's ready for that spring season. And I feel like you're gonna be missing out. So let's get into some of these other tips, because it's gonna tell you what you should be doing instead of the Easter and instead of not decorating. Okay, let's jump into those. This was a struggle for me, because when I think spring, I see what other people have done for spring and I think, oh, that's what I'm supposed to be doing in my house. And so I even ordered a little blue floral pillow the other day and I brought it into my house and I'm like, it does not work for my style. It is absolutely beautiful, so pretty. I'll leave a link for it. If you've got blues and beiges and creamy colors in your house, it's gonna be gorgeous in your house. But that's not my color palette in my own house. So I have to work with my own style. I have to work with the architectural style of my house. I have to work with my own personal style, my own personal color palette. You can't just run out and buy whatever's being sold in the spring section, because it may not work for you. You might have to be a little bit more creative. I do think that wicker baskets are really nice, but if you're like me, I'm looking at black wicker. I'm looking at really pristine wicker rather than something that's super rustic. I'm looking at ruffly vases, right? I think those are really nice for the spring season. I mean, look at this one. Look at this one. Oh my gosh. I bought every single one of these from the listing on Amazon, every one of them. They come in this color, and they come in the white, they come in cream, and they come in black. I also bought, hang on, let me show you another thing. I also bought this beauty. It literally is one of the prettiest things I've ever seen. Guys, these came off of Amazon, and they are beautiful, elegant, chic. Like, they look like they're like, I don't know, like little flowers, right, coming up, and they are extraordinary. So when I really started to think about my style and what I want for spring, I started filling my home with the olive trees and the tulips and really elegant vases like these. Look at these, guys. I mean, beautiful cherry blossoms in a vase with moss. This is how, if you're wanting to create a more luxurious style, this is how to do it. You just have to think a little bit differently about spring decor than what you might be seeing everywhere in the stores. It's not always going to work. Sometimes it will, and sometimes it won't. So this is just magnificent. You feel spring, and it's just glorious. Another big mistake is not lightening up your textiles. And that's such a struggle for me, because I love dark colors, and I struggle every spring because I love my dark velvet, okay? So I'm gonna leave a little bit of my black velvet in my home, even for spring, because it feels very elegant and I like this feeling. There's a little tie-in that stays all year round, but instead of doing all black, instead of doing all dark, I've got to lighten this up just a little bit. So I'm keeping my bold pattern because I love the energy it brings. And I'm adding in some lighter textiles like this beautiful one. These are all from Amazon. Actually, none of these are actually expensive at all. They're super affordable, and they just lighten up the feeling of the room. And they really just bring that that airiness that we kind of crave at this time of year. So if you buy the inserts, I buy those off of Amazon as well. It's so easy just to unzip the covers and pop on a new one. And so that way you only have to store the covers. One more I've got on the sofa right now are these with the little piping on the edges. So I got really excited. I was like, oh, Of course I love lightening things up. Why would I even consider not lightening up my textiles or not even decorating for spring? I love this. It's like sometimes we forget how much we love those things. I've started to switch out the blankets throughout the house, going for something really light and airy. Even these are made, this one's made with alpaca, I've got cashmere. They look really lightweight, and so it just makes the room feel less heavy. And I love that feeling. I think that you will as well. Okay, next up, let's talk about texture. Because when you're trying to create a very modern and luxurious space, texture is very important, because no matter what style your home is, texture is always something that we as designers know is going to create this really homey, tactile, approachable feel to any space. It's really hard to walk into a room. Very few people enjoy living in an extremely all glossy space. Like, the texture is where the warmth really comes in, and it makes you feel at ease and more comfortable in your space. So even for me, I like to add texture in, and I still have some more things to bring up from my storage area downstairs, but I've already got a few things up here, so I'll share a few of these. So one of those things are like marble or travertine pieces like this. It's got so much beautiful texture in it. You can feel how tactile it is. You can kind of hear that roughness. Pieces like this bring instant elegance and sophistication into your home, but they also bring in something that feels really approachable. When you pair this with the pillow, you can start to see how it's the textures working together that really bring your room to life. Now, I've got a few more things. So a really easy, simple way, besides just switching out your pillows and your blankets, right? Changing up those textures, adding in little decor pieces. You can also set your table and put some beautiful napkins out. So this napkin has all this insane texture to it. Look at how it's just got this beautiful warmth, and you just feel the texture here. And then just a little napkin ring like this, just set down on the table. It's just gonna be absolutely glorious. Those can add a really nice texture. I just got this beautiful, beautiful vase in from Amazon, guys. I know, I'm kind of amazed too. It's such a great place to be able to find all kinds of things. And this is what we're talking about with texture. Mixing your textures. I think leaving a little bit of the glossy in your rooms also will add a little bit of elegance and sophistication. I've got some bowls and some vases and things that I like to leave in my rooms that add a little bit of glossiness, but generally speaking, we are going to start switching out the textiles and the accessories and really focusing in on making sure we have something with that sort of tactileness to it. And it's going to really help your space to feel elevated and beautiful, but also really approachable. Without a doubt, out of all the mistakes that people make, I think this is honestly probably the one that it affects you the most. Because fragrance, you feel a room through your nose before your eyes. You smell that room first. You may not realize it, but you do. You walk into a room and you go, you don't even realize you're doing it. It's so human to actually do that. And so when you walk, if you don't have a fragrance for your home year round, you really should have like a signature fragrance for your home. And then think about having some seasonal ones as well, because this will change how you feel in your home. You will feel the seasons with fragrance. So I've got a couple that I cannot get enough of. The tuberose and the rose fragrance from Diptyque are two of my absolute favorites. They are heavenly. You smell like like the windows are open and the smell of a garden is wafting in. It is elegant and subtle, and yet you really feel the seasons. It is divine. Even if you've got snow outside, it'll totally change the way the world feels to you. The other one I've got is this La Jolie, the Jasmine Blossom. I actually have a few candles from this company. They're actually sold on Amazon and they're super affordable. They come in these beautiful containers. I mean, look at the container. And this is just one style. They've got some that are fluted as well. And I love it because you've got the jar, and look at that, it's nice and sealed in there. And yeah, I just bought a new one for this year. It smells so good. I've bought so many of these candles. I love their lavender ones. I have their winter fragrances. They really are absolutely amazing. And then you also get to keep the container. So I keep all my containers, and afterwards I'll clean them out and then use them for table settings or little mini vases around the house. Like, so many uses, but definitely switching out your fragrance. If you are a person who does not want to have necessarily a candle going, you could also look into some of the diffusers. I know that LAFCO sells some that are absolutely extraordinary, and they have the little plugins that go with the little Pura little plugins. Yeah, I love those. We have those in our house, in our kids' rooms, and then you can also do just like a reed diffuser as well. Lots of choices. Either way, you just need to switch your fragrance. Another big mistake is not switching up your books. So a lot of times I love to decorate with books. We've got books all over the house. And during the fall winter season, I tend to have a lot of darker books out. I tend to feature, right, like wintry fall scenes. So when it comes to spring, summer, it's time to switch up the books. And I absolutely love featuring a different book. So at the moment I have the Eden Garden Designs book out, and you can see how it's got this beautiful linen texture on it. Absolutely gorgeous. And it really does lighten up the way that the coffee table feels. You can leave them closed, or if you're like me, you'll also enjoy having them open. So I think having them open reveals the greenery, right? Even if it's not even your own greenery, right? You're bringing the outside in through these little pictures, and it makes a huge difference. You really feel the season. So you may already own books that you can just simply switch them out with something and start lightening things up. You can see on the fireplace, I took down all the black books. I started to put up the white, light linen books instead. The Art of Outdoor Living by Schrader is amazing. And so it's so nice whether you want to have these closed or open. You've got options. Pop them onto the acrylic book stands, and woo, you have got a beautiful display. Your books are something that you should be using as decor every single season, no matter what. But why not switch them up and give a different book its moment right? It's a moment of glory, and really help it to have a nice little feature. So think about the books that you have. If you're looking for something, I'll leave these linked up for you. But your books do have such a powerful influence over how you feel in a space, and even just which page you choose. I'll just walk over and then just change the page, right? Every few days. And it's almost like having your artwork being switched. I mean, I do think it's a mistake not to switch up your artwork, especially if you've got the Samsung Frame TV. Why not switch up your artwork? Even if you just go for a modern piece. That's what I just did in my bedroom. A few weeks ago, I had a Paris scene, and now I've got a really nice modern piece. I think just changing things up and giving yourself something refreshing. It doesn't have to all be spring related necessarily. And switching out the pillows and the books, bringing the outside in. That's another big mistake that people do all the time, is they forget to bring the outside in. So whether it's through the olive tree or the flowers like we showed. I've got some beautiful eucalyptus sitting right over here. The olive tree right here, amazing, right? Tulips. I like to also use moss. I use moss pretty much year round, but the way I do it in spring is different, right? During the holidays, we had these with ornaments and different things like that. In the fall, we had it with pine cones. In the spring, we do lots of moss balls. Yes, moss balls in moss bowls. Say that fast, right? But yeah, just a really beautiful little bowl like this from Amazon. It's nothing very expensive. It looks expensive, right? It looks very luxurious, but it's off of Amazon. So are the little moss balls. It's a really nice way to bring the outside in. And as the weather warms up, we can take the inside out, right? Big mistake to just stay inside when the weather starts to get nice. As soon as the weather starts to get nice, just start taking your blankets and your dinnerware and everything to start eating outside. It's that season of al fresco. So I do think it's a mistake to not bring the outside in, but also the inside out. So start thinking about your outdoor space, even if you've got snow, because I know a lot of you said you still have snow. We're getting pretty warm here in Atlanta, and it's definitely, we've started to eat outside, and it is so nice. So even if you're not able to go out just yet, start thinking through your lanterns, start thinking through if you need new furniture for your outdoor space. Order it now, so then by the time your weather is perfect, you're ready to go outside. So definitely think about your outdoor area. I was looking through the Pottery Barn catalog. I don't remember where I stuck it. We were on vacation. I know you guys saw the home tour of the house that we stayed in at Rosemary Beach. If you missed that one, you have got to watch that video. I'll leave it linked down below, and it's the one hopefully right before this. But it was just so amazing to be there. And while I was there, I was looking through that Pottery Barn catalog, and they have so entirely nailed the outdoor look and feel that we just absolutely love on this channel. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much inspiration waiting for you. You literally extend your living space, right? It depends on how much space you have. For us, right, it could almost be double. It's like additional living area. And so often we overlook the outside as one of our decor spaces. And so this year, I am so pumped. We're gonna be videoing everything. We're gonna be sharing everything along the way, so don't worry. I've got so much to share with you over these next few weeks. We are gonna have a total blast. But for now, I hope I've given you a few things to think about as you're getting your house ready for the spring season. We'll be giving you a home tour. We'll be sharing tips and tricks. It's gonna be so much fun. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I hope you'll be here for it. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss out on all that upcoming content. We wanna hear from you guys. Which of these tips and tricks are you guilty of? If you agree or disagree, let us know down in the comments. Let us know if we've got you super pumped to get your home ready for a new season. It's just amazing, isn't it? Every year, it just feels like something so new and fresh has come. And I think that's why it's just so exciting. So I'm gonna finish sipping my coffee here, and I'm gonna get back to decorating. I can't wait. So thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye for now. Cheers.